Welcome to day 76 of our school year. Get that filled in. Okay, so our beginning fraction. We have a total of 180 school days. We're on day 76. Okay, so we need to find the factors of our numerator. So our numerator is 76. Two factors we always know are 1 and the number itself. Commutative property of multiplication. I can also write it as 76 times 1. Now we're going to go through our divisibility rules to find our other factors, and we're going to go in order so we don't miss any. So after 1, we try 2. The rule for 2 is that it ends in an even number. It does end in an even number, so 2 is a factor. I can't do half of 7 tens, but I could do half of 6 tens. Half of 6 tens is 3 tenths, and that leaves 16. Half of 16 is 8. Now I try the rule for 3. The rule for 3 is that we add the digits together. 7 plus 6 equals 13. 13 is not a multiple of 3, so 3 is not a factor. We try 4. One way to check for 4 is that you look with the second factor with 2. Is it even? It is. So that means 4 is a factor. And I can get 4 tens out of 70. That leaves 36, and that would be 9. Also, I could do, when I double this, I can have this. Let's see, after 4 is 5. The rule for 5 is that it ends in a 0 or 5. It ends in a 6, so 5 is not a factor. We try 6. The rule for 6 is that both 2 and 3 are factors. 2 is, but 3 is not, so 6 is not a factor. We try 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77. 76 is not in that list, so 7 is not a factor. We try 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 76 is not in that list, so 8 is not a factor. We try 9. 9 has the same rule as 3. When we add the digits together, we get 13. 13 is not a multiple of 9, so 9 is not a factor. We try 10. The rule for 10 is that it ends in a 0. It ends in a 6, so 10 is not a factor. We try 11. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77. 76 is not in that list, so 11 is not a factor. I'm going to see if 19 may be prime, because if we've gone in an orderly fashion and our second factor is prime, then we're done, because it won't break down anymore. And yes, 19 is prime, so that means we're done. Let's go ahead and list our factors from least to greatest. 1, 2, 4, 19, 38, 76. I have 6 factors. That is more than 2 factors, so it is composite. Now we need to figure out which of these is our greatest common factor. So let's start with our greatest factor and work our way down to see which one works. Your groups do not have to look like mine, but you need to make sure that there's 76 in each and that your shaded are separated from your unshaded. So here I have 4 plus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So I have 74. Plus 2 is 76. I have 28 left over, so that means 76 did not work. It is not our greatest common factor. Okay, let's try 38. Again, it does not have to look like mine. Just make sure there's 38 in each. And keep the shaded separated from the unshaded. 30 plus 4 is 34, plus 4 more is 38. 6 plus 30 is 36, plus 2 is 38. And there's 28 left over, just 10 short. So that means 38 is not our greatest common factor. Let's try 19. 10 plus 9. 11 plus 8. 12 plus 7. 6 plus 13. So make sure your shaded are all in their groups of 19 and then the unshaded done separately. So 14 plus 5. 15 plus 4. 16 plus 3. 17 plus 2. 18 plus 1. And I have 9 left over, so that means 19 didn't work. So let's find our groups of 4 now. Okay, let's see. I'm going to use my perfect squares to help me out here. Keep your shaded separated from your unshaded, because otherwise you have fractions within fractions. Alright, so now I'm going to do the rest, since I made sure those were 2 separate groups of 4. Use my perfect squares. And this is why 4 is called a perfect square, because both sides are the same length, 2 by 2, which makes a square. And 4 works. There's no remainder, so 4 is our greatest common factor. Okay, let's count up our total groups of 4. The way I did mine, I have 5 in each row, so I'm going to count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 35, 40, 45. 45 total groups. And I have 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 shaded in. Okay, now that I found my fraction through my division with my model, I'm going to divide using my algorithm to prove it in another way. So I have to divide both by my greatest common factor. These will always be the same, and they have to work for both. So 180 divided by 4. And 76 divided by 4. I know that 4 quarters is $1 or 100 cents. Numbers the same, zeros a game, more on top, no need to stop. And let's see, 10 times 4 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros a game, more on top, no need to stop. And 10 times 4 is 40. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Okay, over here, let's see. Oh, I forgot to add my partial quotients. 25, 35, 45. Okay, over here I'm going to do 10 groups of 4. 10 times 4 is 40. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. And let's see, I'm going to do 5 groups of 4, because 5 times 4 is 20. I'm pretty good at my 5s. More on top, no need to stop. More on top, no need to stop. And let's see, 4 times 4 is 16. Numbers the same, zeros the game. Let's add up these partial quotients. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 4 is 19. Now you may have already recognized here that 9 times 4 is 36, but I just want to show you that even if you don't know your 9s or your 4s that well, you can still get to your answer. Just use what you know, keep subtracting until you get a 0 or a number here that's less than your divisor, and you'll be successful there. All right, now let's check. Divisor times quotient plus remainder, divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since our remainder is 0 for both, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0, it stays the same, we don't need to take the time to add the 0. 4 groups of 5 is 20. 4 groups of 4 tenths is 16 tenths, plus 2 more tenths is 18 tenths. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 groups of 10 is 4 tenths, plus 3 more tenths is 7 tenths. So 76, that matches our dividend up here, so that checks. 180, that matches our dividend up here, so that checks. So our numerator is definitely 19, and our denominator is definitely 45. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Okay, we're on trimester 2, week 4. Today's date is 12/3/19, and our fraction for today is 19/45. Okay, let's go ahead and get out our number line. We did groups of 4, so let's look for that 4. Go across. Okay, the last one we have is 17/45. So we get down 18/45, which is equivalent to 36/90, and to 2/5. 2/5 is the simplest form, or the equivalent fraction in lowest terms. And then today is 19/45. There's nothing lined up below it because it is the simplest form, but there is an equivalent fraction in the 2's because 2 is also a common factor. All right, let's go ahead and put your number line away, erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.